Everybody started doing what with it? Spending it. Or if you were wise, should have been investing it. But a lot of people were spending it, and then that just devalued the dollar. That's when the GDP skyrocketed. There was too much spending going on. Right?
I bought a house with mine.
Yeah.
Inflation and interest rates kind of move opposite of each other. So if they want to suck more money out of the economy, they're going to raise the interest rate so you can go to the bank and put that money in the bank and kind of tie it. Does that make sense? And if you don't think that the interest rate in the bank is that favorable or that good, you're going to go find other alternatives, spend that money and make your money elsewhere. So how many people right now, or you knew before when inflation was that high, cared to put money in the bank at 0.25 or 0.5%? Nobody. Everybody wanted to spend it.
They want to spend it. Yeah.
Some economic risks that are worth talking about is like we kind of touched on already. Hiring is slowed across the economy, with the exception of healthcare. And AI is likely slowing hiring due to efficiency gains in cognitive work. And that's just going to keep accelerating at a super fast pace. Super fast. The company shifting spending to AI and away from other core business lines may impact hiring and layoffs. And high interest rates reduce business investment and slow hiring.
Do you guys use AI for your business daily? Do you guys? Do you guys feel like you're pretty well-rounded when it comes to AI?
I mean, always can do better, but pretty comfortable.
There's a class I'm taking right now. It's a 28-day challenge. It's 15 to 20 minutes a day. It's online. They talk to you. You talk back. I'm on day 4. I thought I was pretty knowledgeable, but it's amazing what they're teaching me. So if you guys are interested, just send me a text. I'll send you the link.
Cursive one? Cursive.
Huh?
The cursive one?
I don't know what to call it. What's it called? Marbalism, I think, or something? Okay. U.S. events.
All right. So this is a good one. Sides per agent. Last year, NAR added 591,000 agents. We lost 338,000 agents. So there was about a 250-ish, 250,000 gain in real estate agents that are your active competition on market. That equated to the average real estate agent in 2025 sold 5.4 units. So if you sold raise your hand if you sold more than 5.4 units last year. Congratulations, you beat the market. Adriana, you didn't raise your hand. Oh, you did? I didn't see it. Okay. So yeah.
5.9 is average, or is that below average?
That's the average.
Okay, so
5.9 is the predicted for this year. So NAR is predicting that the average real estate agent is going to sell 6 units this year. Who has already sold 6 this year so far? Good job, man.
Yeah,
you see that? Keep beating the averages. Keep beating the averages. Any big takeaways from that, Ronnie?
So historically, the average has been 9.5, but we haven't hit 9.5 average since 2013. And what Mike said earlier about agents being added, right? From 2008 to 12, we did 338, and then to 2013 to 24, we're at 456. Sides per drop. So it actually went down because we've had more agents in the industry. So there's more transactions, but there's more agents at the same time. So a lot of people are not getting their hands in the cookie jar as one, so they're splitting their thing. But teams, a lot of this doesn't fall under the team category, right, Wad? Because you can't really categorize it as a single agent.
I wonder how NAR breaks that down. Probably not. You're right.
Yeah.
So here's one though worth talking about. So 5.4 units, which here seems like not a lot at all, but when you look at across the country,
volume.
On average, that those 5 units equal 2.69 million in volume. Where here 5 would equal probably about 1, just a little bit over 1 million. So again, and we get, for the most part, you're paid on volume. So we're in a market where we have a lower average price per sale. so the agents make less than the rest of the country price per sale.
Yeah, because
So you got to do double the work to make the same amount of money as that agent outside of our market.
our average sales what, 235 to 250.
Yeah.
So times 5 deals, $1.5 million. So you have to sell townhouses to get to $3 million.
These are listings with price drops.
Wasn't December the highest amount of price drops in a long time in the country?
Here it's saying not really.
Yeah, because back in November, 2024.
Yeah, it happened.
Wow.
Majority of them were happening in the summer, which why? More competition.
Yeah.
You know, there's more properties on the market. So if people that are not
Interesting.
moving, we have ammo to go to our client and say, look, this one's here, just sold. This one just sold. This one's on the market here. We got to do something with the price. So you start getting more of them to drop. Versus in the winter months, less inventory, lesser to compare against to convince the sellers to price drop and or they're selling. It's actually, if you can, in the winter, if you can stay out of the snow and ice days, it's actually a really good time to sell.
You'll sell. Not a lot of people want to buy.
They don't have a lot of competition. For the people who have to buy,
Right.
that's a great time. New listings, so you see November, December, not a lot of action. You compare that to the year before, a slightly increase. Our market, lesser than the years before. So we actually less inventory hit the market in our market than did the rest of the country.
I was going to ask you, Mike, because I knew you knew the answer. Because obviously it goes back to one of the worst winters we've had in the last 8 to 10 years. So not too many people are eager to sell their house in the snow.
For sure. This is one of my favorite because again, I lived through the housing crisis with all foreclosures, short sales, and so we still get a lot of clients who tell us like, hey, I'm looking for a foreclosure. Well, okay, where are they? Right? There's none. Now that you're starting to see a slight increase from in 2020, 2021, less than 1%. Now you're getting 2% on market, so it is starting to climb. The thing is, when they do come, and whomever finally takes that foreclosure, and then they get it on the market, what are they going to be pricing it against? The current inventory on market. So if you're a client who wants that foreclosure and they don't want to look at anything unless it's a foreclosure because they think just because it says it's a foreclosure, they're going to get it for a steal, they're not going to. They're still going to compete against the market, and it's going to get priced against the market. And what's the market going to do? The market does what the market does. If handled properly, the market is going to dictate what that asset is going to sell for.
So it might have the word foreclosure next to it, but you're still paying market value.
For sure. So my saying in that to them is, sure, I'd love to find you a foreclosure, but let me tell you what else we can do. I can potentially find you off market. Anything that's on market, we're going to be on it right away. If a foreclosure comes, we're going to jump on it. We're going to keep our options open. Don't let them stick to just foreclosure because they think it's a fancy word that means they're getting a great deal. Now, there are great deals to be found, but you got to find them typically pre-market or pre-foreclosure.
Yeah.
That's, again, as a buyer agent, how much of a hunter you want to become for your client, that's on you to find them those deals. There are methods, but it requires a lot of work. Yeah, what?
Big portion of that 2% that you see in there that went to foreclosure is actually from recent purchases that are post-COVID. So, because these guys paid top dollar, and we've all been in it, right? How many people put an offer that was way over what they could afford, but they just had to get the home because the interest rate made sense or the affordability at the time made sense. Well, the income stayed where it's at and everything else risen, now
Yeah.
home all of a sudden isn't affordable. So if you're going to be thinking about these foreclosures, to Mike's point, now the bank is getting them and there's owed a significant amount of money, and the bank is going to want to see what the market's gonna allow and offer. So just because it says foreclosure doesn't automatically mean I'm getting a discount or I'm getting a,
And the tail end day, and we'll let Randy weigh in on this as well. In the tail end days of the foreclosure crisis, look at that data, by the way, guys. Look at 2008 to 2012. That's the amount of total inventory, meaning every listing you guys see in the MLS. In 2008, 40% of every listing was either a short sale or a foreclosure. 2009, 32%. 2010, 36%. 2011, 37% was either a short sale or a foreclosure. Now, as we started getting to these years, 12, 13, 14, whichever ones were coming up, and I'll let Randy talk because he was an asset manager for a lot of these banks. A lot of them were starting to use auction sites.
Yeah.
So to prevent type of underground dealings and hooking somebody up, so everybody was submitting their bids online or directly to the bank, so the bank could see who really wants to pay the most for my property. And if let's say that came today, and they took that same strategy. Well, their comps are going to be our comps. So they're going to want that same pretty much market value of what they see in all the comparable sales, and somebody will be willing to pay it. So for your buyers, and I know majority of you guys have heard this, you guys have come across paths with buyers who tell you, I only want to buy a foreclosure. These are the conversations you need to have with them. Randy, you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, I'll tell you guys this. The buyers who think they're going to get a foreclosure and needs a ton of work and they're going to save all this money, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which own about 70% of the mortgages in this country, for the last 5 years have had a repaired strategy process through the entire country, meaning they're actually fixing them themselves because they realize, hey, investors are buying these properties and selling them, right? So they're actually rehabbing themselves. They hired national vendors. They're selling them for retail. So the average person thinks they're going to buy it from the bank at a great deal. Majority of the time, the bank's already taken that equity. They rehabbed it and they're getting top dollar for it.
Underwater homes, that's a great indicator of like who's starting to feel it, where they may get put in situations, and it is coming, because in the last couple months alone I've had 2 conversations with agents of ours who if they were going to list and sell for what they felt it was worth, once that seller pays the commissions and their closing cost, they would have to bring money to the closing. Those are what we call underwater. So if you go back again, we look from, that's even from 2010. If we went to 7, 8, 9, 10, a huge chunk of the entire inventory real estate market out there was underwater. Today, everyone has equity. So if they do start getting in trouble where they feel they're going to lose the home or they can't make their payments, all they simply have to do is hire you and sell it. It's probably not going to go to foreclosure or to short sale, and only are extreme scenarios where people don't know, where they don't care, they just don't want to pay, and they don't care to even call a real estate agent, then those will ultimately go. But they're going to be very few and far between.
We should just keep an eye on that number, over the next year or two.
For sure. Credit conditions.
Steady.
New home starts still low, below what the market needs. So that's going to be a good indicator that we're still probably going to be short inventory. I don't see a major inventory swing.
I'm surprised they didn't predict what 26 is going to look like for new construction. Interesting.
Student loan debt just continuing to skyrocket. This has been a big one. Homeowners insurance. Past a couple of years really shot up, and that's what's hurting that affordability as well. So it started to come down a little bit, because the average year-over-year increase should be 2.2%. We're going on since 2003, 4, 5, 11 to 6% of homeowners insurance increases. They say, there's been a lot of hurricanes and things like that. So I don't know. I don't know what's anything on that, Ronnie.
It's a hard number to digest because there's so many circumstances that go in this number. Me personally, I'd like to just see Michigan,
right?
See where it's, because we're not surrounded by the hurricanes and the.
I think ours hasn't been that bad. Whereas like my Florida home tripled since I bought it, and when I bought it when I first bought my home in 21.
Yeah.
It's required mandatory flood insurance, and the homeowners was $3,500. Now it's 8,500.
Yeah. It's crazy, guys.
Generational wealth transfer. Boomers currently control 85 trillion in assets, almost 50% of all assets in the United States, which you would expect. 19 trillion of that is in real estate. 73% of people over 55 say they want to give all or some of their estate to their children before they die. And on average, they want to give away 30% while still alive. Not sure what were the main talking points on that.
Yeah.
Is it just some of these?
It's just world stuff.
Allocation, you see for the most part, most of 20% of all wealth is held in real estate. 26% cash and deposits. Huh? What's that, Lola?
I was gonna ask if they mentioned crypto.
No, not really. Do we want to touch on this?
No, Nick J's gone, so we could keep going.
There is a trend towards multifamily developments going on across the country. If you guys notice, in a lot of places you guys travel to, you notice a lot of like the lower levels have your retail businesses, restaurants, shops, things like that. But then they'll have 3-4 stories above that, multifamily units. That's a huge trend, and it's good. That's good for our for the housing market.
Makes sense.
Loan delinquency rates, really not a whole lot to talk about, even in commercial. All right, I got back to some good stuff for you guys. First-time home buyers. First-time home buyers accounted for 21% of all the purchases throughout the country last year. That number is actually down a little bit. And primary reasons for purchasing a home. The people just wanted to own a home, 21%. They wanted to be closer to friends and family, 16%. They upgraded, 10%. Or downsized, 8%. Change in family situation, 7%, and on and on.
Why do you think first-time home buyer percentage keeps going down?
So if you go to the student debt and affordability is like a big one.
Yeah.
So
School loans.
school loans, and
Yeah.
a lot of the lenders change their criteria in terms of how they count that student loan against you. It used to be if it's deferred,
Yep.
it never mattered.
Yep.
Now it's 1% of the balance has to go in there regardless of whether you're paying or not. So if you owe $50,000 in student loan, 500 of it is considered your monthly obligation, whether you're paying it or you're not paying it. So that puts a lot of pressure on first-time home buyers, especially the younger, because, so there's gotta be a little bit more, and we talk about it, Mike and I, is like, there's less and less push for home ownership these days.
Yeah.
Like by individuals. It's more becoming let's help institutional buyers buy in, and let it be more corporations and more organizations than solo individual.
How long does the average buyer take to buy a home?
3 months.
It's right there. 10 weeks. 10 weeks. So you guys got to be patient, care for them. And that's pretty much historical. That's like the average. You got 8, 10, 12, 10, 8, 10. 9 to 10 weeks on average it takes them to buy a home. First steps. What are your clients' first steps when they're thinking about buying a home?
Online.
They go online. So where do you need to be? Because then shortly thereafter, 20% contacted a real estate agent first. So that's 66% that either went online or contacted an agent. When they go online, they should see you. That's the way it's got to be. Information sources buyers use, the majority your information, and then mobile or tablet search device, online video site, open house, yard sign. Where buyers found the home that they purchased. Oof. 52% are saying that they found it, not their agent. 27% said their agent told them about it. 52% saying they found it.
Yeah, it's been pretty flat.
You guys got to be really, really, really good at having the conversation when you meet a client who says, oh, I found this home on Zillow, or I found this home on Realtor.com, or wherever they find it. You guys got to be really good at saying, knowing, one, that that's where they're looking, right? And then understanding, okay, great, I'm going to set you up a home search as well with the criteria. You have that whole conversation. But you got to always finish that conversation with, in addition to anything you see online, just send it to me and I'll set us up with that appointment. I'll do my research on it for you. You gotta tell them that, because a lot of times they give you the criteria that you set in your Realcom search, and then what happens? They send you a property from somewhere else saying, oh, look what I found. And it makes you look bad because you didn't send it to them, but guess what? It doesn't match their criteria, right? They found it because it doesn't match what you were sending them. And that it happens more often than not. So you guys have to be really good on your buyer scripts of telling them, hey, anything else you find or see online or you see a sign, just send it my way right away. And then you'll cover all those bases there. How many found their home from an open house? 5%? Not bad.
The business is there to take.
Yes. Method of home purchase, 88% bought a real estate through a realtor, 5% through a builder, 7% through previous owner, meaning directly from the homeowner. What buyers want from their agent, they want to help finding the right home, of course. They want a good negotiator, 13%, actually 25%, help negotiating sell terms and price. Those should be 1. Paperwork 7 and comp 6, but they really just want you to find them the right home. How did buyers find you? 43% of them were referred by a friend, neighbor, or relative. 15% used agent previously to sell a home. So 43 plus 15 is what? 58? 58% of all purchases, either there was a referral or they worked with the person before. Knowing that, overwhelmingly, what do you need to do?
Make friends.
Yeah,
Network.
meet people, network, talk to people, call your phone book. Tony and I were talking about it yesterday. Just call your phone book. Have a conversation with them. Yeah,
Let them know that you're a realtor.
Those
favorite
two
line.
things, before you do anything, you gotta be winning in this department, guys. Buyer interviews, actually agents, this is true, they meet more than one buyer agent than a seller meets with a listing agent. Is real estate a good financial investment? 79% said yes, 16% said I don't know, and 5% said it's not a good investment. Is real estate a better investment than stocks? 44% said better, 18% said no, and 30% said just about the same. Buyer, repeats and referrals. 76%, this number is usually always about the same. Say, yeah, I'll use my agent again. Sure. Buyer seller satisfaction. You see buyer satisfaction a little bit lower than seller satisfaction. What might be some reasons why a buyer feels like,
They found the home themselves.
exactly. One, they found the home themselves. You let them feel like they found it and you didn't, right?
Overpay for the house.
Sometimes, yeah, maybe got pushed. Another big,
Could have went wrong compared to when you're handing them a check of hundreds of thousands of dollars.
true.
Seller's gonna be happier.
A lot of time buyer agents in particular get paid and that's it. They never know the person again. You know, versus there's a lot of conversations with the seller still after the closing that need to take place. Water, escrow, this, that. It's a relationship thing. How sellers found their agents. 37% by friend, neighbor, or relative, so referral. And 29% used that agent previously. 37 plus 29, what? 66? 66% referral rate or sphere to get a listing.
But see, my takeaway, go ahead, Bart.
So that's more than the buyers.
Yep.
My takeaway on this stat, Mike, is only 29% of your previous, they go back to your previous agent. Because if you're not in their face, like you said, guess what? Somebody else is.
Yeah. So like, what would that be? 71% listed with an agent that was their first time working together.
Yeah. Maybe through a friend or personal contact.
So all these other things that we dedicate a lot of time to, and they're great skills to acquire. 5% were contacted by the agent by phone, cold called, dialed, website visited, went to an open house, direct mail, flyers, all these cool things we want to do to get leads. What do we really just need to be doing?
Buyers here.
Just call the people you know. Just talk to the people you already know. Seller interviews, 80% of sellers just talk to one agent. 12% 2, 5% 3, and 3% 4 or more. What sellers want, they want to price competitively. They want help to market to potential buyers. They want to help sell the home with a specific time frame. Everything we already know. Most important factors for sellers: reputation, honest, trustworthy, friend, family member. That surprises me actually. Shouldn't be 15%. This should be at the bottom. But nonetheless, they're the ones answering and saying, yeah, I hired my friend or family member. So again, you need to let those people closest to you know that. Knowledge of the neighborhood, good listener, commission's honestly a non-factor. If you got great value prop, commission's, You did such a great presentation, they know that they can actually lose so much money or have such a nightmare of a time if they don't hire you. 3% is a bargain. Any thoughts there? What are ways you can help brand your reputation honest and trustworthy?
Views.
Like social media.
Reviews,
Exactly.
social
Billy.
media.
Yeah, so from top to bottom on this one, it's like people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Right?
And then
Yeah.
the friend and family member is probably just because of the know, like, and trust, not necessarily because of their professional designation or what they know about the industry or whatnot. So that tells you the deeper you get into relationships, it really, that's what moves the needle. So
I like this one. Highest number ever where listings actually only sold their home through a real estate agent. Not for sale by owner or any of those other things. 91% sold using an agent or broker. Only 5% for sale by owner. These are the iBuys, open doors, things like that. Not even enough data there,
Minorities.
right? So that's good.
Yeah.
That's great for us. Incentives offered to attract buyers, none, overwhelmingly. Seller concessions, 11%. Home warranty policies, 9%. Credit towards remodeling repairs, 7%. Other incentives, car, TV, mortgage rate buy down. Nothing there. And that's it, guys. So we're going to share, these are all in command, right?
yeah.
Can we just do maybe like a screen record of where they can find it at to share with them? You guys all have these slides. So you can, you'll see me in the next couple of days. I did a few videos I'll be putting out where I just have it and I just talk on it. Just try it. Do some of those things. Do some of those things. You want your people to know that, hey, 1, you're on top of the market. 2, you're trying to help them and give them whatever data and value prop you're trying to get them through these videos or messages that you're going to send out. And trust me, that stuff will stick with them. When there's a real estate question and their topic, they're going to call you. So challenge yourself to do it. Any takeaways?
Any ahas?
Anything you guys seen that felt a little bit surprising to you? I know us, even when in family reunion, when KWI presented it to us, we were just like, that's a lot more of the same, a lot, which is not entirely bad.
I was going to say, it's actually good
You know what
because
I
you don't
mean?
want to see something go one way or another really
Right.
drastically.
Which is not. We want the market to continue. I mean, we've been doing very well in the toughest market of all time. So if we're doing very well in the toughest market of all time and we stay consistent, our rewards are going to go up. So we just keep doing that. And thank you guys for coming.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Thanks, Mike.